Welcome to Ope. I Found a Weird Show. I'm Laura,
Beans.
And I'm Lauren.
and we are continuing our recap of the TV show From. We are officially starting the third season. I am very excited. I know I've expressed to you guys that this is probably my favorite season, which is contrary to popular beliefs, but I love it, even though there are a lot of sad things that happen, as Lauren will recap for us tonight.
Look, I was excited to start season 3, and now I just want to go home.
Now you hate me.
No, no. But this episode, interestingly enough, is one of the shorter episodes that, at least that I've recapped. But so much happens in it, and I don't know, I was like going along, enjoying it, and then I was just angry. And then I
Yeah.
just got more angry and more angry, and I was like, how dare they? How dare? Who wrote this? I'm coming over.
Well, strongly worded email
Yes.
sent your way. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to spoil anything or any part of your recap, but I mean, you did get the cat shirt back. So,
You just spoiled the whole thing. I can't do
shit.
this anymore. How dare you? No, that's a whole call out, and I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah,
Still gonna
that's
do it.
fine. That's fine. I just want you throughout all the trauma that we'll be experiencing together. Just think of the cat shirt.
I do want to say that we ended the last episode. You're like, what's something you want question? I'm like, are we ever gonna see the cat shirt again? All my questions are answered now. We're good. I'm
It's true.
content.
Pretty immediately, as soon as we saw Jade. Well, he had to dress in layers. It's cold now.
Yeah.
And those are
Yes.
his only layers.
Yeah. He had to put the titties away. It's cold.
He did. But he
I am
still has
sad.
he still has the titty shirt.
Yes.
Just
He's our
further
fashion
unbuttoned.
icon. But yes. Yes. Shorter
To
episode.
expose the heart of him, the cat shirt.
Yes. Yes. And he does have a golden heart. We love Jade. Um, but yeah. So, are we ready?
Let's do it. It's all you, ma'am.
Alrighty. So, this is from season 3, episode 1, and it is called Shatter, which is what my heart did during this episode.
Oh,
Alrighty. So, we pick up basically right where we left off, with Tabby in the hospital. She learns that she's in Camden, Maine, I think it was.
Yes.
And the doctor's in the room. The doctor's trying to ask her some identifying questions. But Tabby's in shock, and she's not really answering anything. And then nurse comes in to tell the doctor that the police are on the way, presumably to talk to Tabby. And the doctor leaves her alone for a few minutes, which is just enough time for Tabby to get her shit and get out of there. Um, and she makes it out of the hospital and is walking down like pretty lively street. Like it is a hoppin' day in this town. When she sees the little boy in white across the street. And like he's standing there staring at her. It is very obviously that boy in white. And so she follows him and sees him go into an ice cream shop. So she goes in and grabs his shoulder. And when she grabs his shoulder, she asks, "What did you mean by it's the only way?" But when he turns around, it's a different kid. So good parents in this town are like, don't touch my child, get out of here. And she apologizes and leaves. And then we get que sera, sera. So Tabby is, I don't even want to say she's acclimating. She's trying to figure out what the hell's going on, where she is.
Yeah, and we can always say it's a dream, but like it feels like this is not a dream. Like she is back in
No,
the real world.
it does feel like she is in the real world. And I need her to get back to Demon Land. I'm sorry, Tabby, but you need to get back in there because I don't like it.
That's a rough one too, because like, yay, I finally got out of Demon Land. Oh no, my entire family is
It's
still in
stuck.
Demon Land. So it's
Yeah.
like, as much as you never want to go back to that space, now how do we get back? Like we worked so hard to get home, to get out of here, and now it's like, no, 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 wait a minute, I need to go back.
So I was thinking, like, this actually just made me think when you were like, her whole family's there. What if it was like Jade or someone else who made it out? Do you think they'd be as like, I have to get back in there? Or do you think he'd be like, sweet, I'm free?
bye.
Yeah, I think it depends on who. I feel like Jade, there are certain people that he would be like, I have to go save.
Yes.
And But I do think there are people like, look, if Dale got out, do you
Dale
think
would be
he
like,
would
"Fuck
give
you guys."
Yeah, like, he's
Fuck
not
this
gonna
shit,
help
I'm out.
anybody.
Yeah, I
So
completely agree with that. Yeah. I think our main cast, I think everybody would try. I'm trying to think if like Randall probably not, but like, I don't consider him
Randall,
part of the
no.
core group. He's, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, even, like, Sarah would come back. Sarah would try to help him, like,
I think so. Yeah, she wants to make up for killing people.
Victor would be mad. Victor would absolutely he's like, "I just wanna go home." Like,
Yeah, he's like, that's my home now.
yeah, why am I not at my home?
Oh, poor guy. Yeah. Okay. No, I think that's a good thought there. So, all right. So back in Demonland, Boyd is in the sheriff's station tending to his flesh wound, his gunshot wound. And while he's doing that, Khatri appears, asking him if he should have Christy do that instead. And Boyd's like, no, she's got more things to worry about. And Khatri asks him how are the three who were taken are, and Boyd says they seem fine. And Khatri responds that calling anything fine in this scenario is interesting, given the state of the town. Like one of their own tried to kill them, Reggie. They've got a food shortage, and also it's getting cold outside if you haven't noticed. And Boyd asks like, what are we supposed to do? Should we just get everyone to panic? And Khatri says maybe they just really aren't panicking enough. So Boyd replies to that, saying that the woman in the cellar, Abby, who's talking to him and trying to convince him not to break the music box, sure as hell wasn't his wife. So what is Khatri? And I don't think we get an answer to that. I don't know if we ever will.
I think it's a fair question. Like, so when we first saw Katri, it's when the wormies happened, right?
Yeah,
It's when Boyd was infested. So it was a little bit like, is he showing up for that? But then also Tom is showing up for Jade. So I think it's just more of a like I don't know. Either they're just in a having a little psychotic break, or it's kind of the better parts of this place because we know that this place does have better parts that are like kind of pushing these forces. So maybe when you die here, you do have a little bit of control of yourself. And so maybe you can kind of
ooh,
push that energy out because like we saw that even, we've seen see that's the thing too. We've seen Abby, but she's almost always been kind of more of a darker entity. She's not helping, right?
yeah,
But when he was asking for a sign, I need a sign, she played the song on the jukebox, and then when they got out there, she screamed at Sarah. Like, I think that that's Abby really there, kind of trying to put a message out, but then the place also taking her visage. So it's one of those, like, I would be super wary. Like, I'm still probably going to talk to whatever phantom person dead person is deciding to show
it
up
would
and
be
talk
me.
to me. Yay! But I'm also going to be
I'll haunt you.
wary and be like, "Are you or are you Demonland?"
We'll come up with a code word. I'm not going to say it on the pod because then the demons would hear, but we'll come up with a code word.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, no, I think that I agree with that because yeah, I think that it's a really good thought that like they might have some control over their spirits, whatever, in the afterlife and be able to put that into some like positive helping force. But also, if Demonland doesn't want that to happen, why not take advantage and like show them the people they think are helping them, but make them be evil instead?
It's kind of what's happening with Abby, but even you could take it so far as the children.
Yeah,
Like that is something that's actually kind of maybe potentially positive here. And they're trying to reach out. So, yeah, I mean, I think that there's more than one force happening in Demonland.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so he asks Khatri, "What are you?" And then we hear Ethan yelling outside, and Boyd goes outside to see that Tien Chen is like pulling Ethan home. So he had run off to go look for his mom, and Victor, his best friend, had told the adults what he was doing. So they had been searching for him and were able to go get him before he could get into trouble. And Julie was one of the ones looking, but she seems a little bit different than she was before. She doesn't really want to talk to anyone, but she does tell Jim that like none of this is his fault, and she goes off for a walk. But like, yeah, she just seems a little off. Something happened while the three people were in their coma like states. Um, but next
For
thing,
sure.
yeah,
For sure. And also good on you, Victor. We
Mhm.
talked about
right,
this when we were watching. Good on you, Victor, for speaking up, cuz I know like Ethan is your bestie. So, but you also know how dangerous it is and you don't want anything to happen to him. So,
yeah, and there's that whole like, oh, you like support your friends, you keep their secrets, but if they're doing something that could get them killed, you gotta support them by taking care of them, and even if that's from themselves. Yeah. So next thing we see, Jim is packing, and Boyd is trying to talk him out of his own little rescue mission. But Jim is determined to go looking for Tabby, and Boyd tells him that like the odds are that she's already dead, but Jim will not have it. He doesn't want to hear that. And Kenny comes in and hears Boyd tell Jim that if he's going to do this, there might be a safer way. So at Colony House, Fatima is hogging the bathroom. She's got morning sickness. And I gotta ask, is there like really only one bathroom in this mansion? Because
to be shocked. I mean, I know we haven't addressed this and the layout of that mansion, I'm going to be real honest, feels
confused.
movie magic.
Yeah.
Um, but there's got to be more than one bathroom.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, but, like, there's a woman outside banging on the door saying, like, she's been in there for X number of minutes, like, "Get the hell out of there." Like, "Girl, calm down. Go find another bathroom." There has to be one. But
Plus like I mean, granted it is cold now, but like also she just said to like she's like I got to pee. Nature is your friend too sometimes.
yeah. Yeah, why not? But also I was I did say this while we were watching, I was like, "Fatima could just, like, go throw up in a bucket. If there's only one bathroom, you don't need to keep puking in the bathroom." I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bit like both of you are kind of assholes right now.
Right, right. And so Fatima does leave the bathroom, and as she's leaving, the woman who is, yelling at her says it's bad enough that Fatima gets double rations, and which, you know what? No, she's pregnant. Let
She's
her be.
eating for two. Of course she
Yeah,
gets double rations.
like that. What a crazy thing to say to a woman. Um, and Clara, our favorite unknown side character, calls her out because she was kind of also like in line, maybe. She was in the hallway, and so she calls her out on her rudeness, and the lady's just like, "Fuck you" to Claire, which don't do that. That's
Yeah.
mean.
This woman
Where's
has been through so much.
her bike
Right.
got stole. She's
Her
got a nice
eye.
purse. Her eye. Sorry.
Yeah, someone says
Cor-
she's got a nice
for
purse. It's like,
if we
oh, that's
haven't
one
said
reason.
this yet, our friend Corbet, who we've brought up multiple times, has a notebook when she was watching this, and she has the most random notes throughout the show. And one of them is that when Clara's bike gets taken, she's like, she's got a nice purse.
It's a good note. I'm sure it means something. Um, but yeah, so Fatima goes to rest, and then we see Donna and Ellis go to harvest because they still have some of the crops. And Ellis questions why they're going to do this early. It's not on their normal timeline, but Donna says that they need to harvest early because it's getting cold out. They've already lost so many crops to the storm that they don't want to risk losing the rest of it to freeze. And now we go back to Boyd and Jim and Kenny, and Boyd is explaining, basically finally telling people the details about his trek into the woods and like getting dragged at the tent and the spiders. But he says they should make a plan to use the shack that he and Sarah stayed at as a starting point and then go in different directions basically each day to see if they can find the tower from there. So, like a wagon wheel spoke, use that as your hub, go a certain way out or like a certain distance out. If you don't see spiders, come back. I would come back if I saw spiders, but you guys do you. And I asked this while we were watching, but like, why don't they just go to the damn tree? Jim was there when Victor told Tabby that this tree can take you to the tower. So why is this being too different? I don't know. The whole thing is
Yeah,
just very stupid to me. I'm like,
because
there's a
he. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
He should know. Like, Victor most likely came back, or Victor will tell him, like, yeah, she went into the tree. Like, so yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, this is a weird, like, why? But maybe it's just because it's Victor. And
Yeah.
Jim is like, no, Victor is evil, even though he just saved my son and, like, and has saved literally everyone in my family.
Yeah, I did get the sense that, like, he wasn't as, like, "I hate Victor" in this, because Victor is around everybody right now, like, so Jim's not fighting Victor's presence, but, like, yeah, maybe he just doesn't trust him for anything, so he's not gonna ask him, "Hey, where did my wife go? You led the way." Stupid. So that was my first irritant of this episode, was just like, "Go to the damn tree." But anyway, Kenny then says, like, "Oh, you said both you and Sarah camped there?" And Boyd says, "Yeah, why?" We all know where this is going. Sweet baby child Kenny says he's going to go on this adventure with Jim. And it is the only smart thing that's been suggested with this plan. So people need to stick to the buddy system.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
go,
and
Kenny.
Kenny also wanted to go back in the day when Boyd went too. He was
Yeah.
like, I'll go with you. Boyd was like, nope, they need a sheriff. Well, Boyd, you're staying here because you're scared of that forest, so guess they got a sheriff then.
Yeah. And Boyd, again, at this point, is like, I don't like that plan. So he wants to talk to Kenny privately. And so they go outside, and Kenny tells him, "No, I'm doing this. Like, Boyd has reasons to be afraid of going out there again." And Boyd's like, "I'm not afraid." Kenny's like, "Yeah, you are. Shut up." But he's like, Jim cannot go alone, and they cannot play defense forever. So Boyd seems kind of like resigned to it, but before he can say anything, one of the windows of the bar is smashed out from the inside, and they head over there to investigate. Inside, Jade. Jade is drunk, and he is lying on the floor, mumbling about the symbol, just kind of like freaking out as per usual. But he's also like looking up at this string contraption piece of art that he has put together, basically covering the entire bar space. But it looks like he was trying to recreate the root symbol that he saw in the
Yes.
cave.
Yes, that was
Um,
what he was trying to do, and, like, he like, which I don't like a drunk person's mind, but, like, I think he was I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking, but that was absolutely what he was trying to do. He's
yeah,
still obsessed with the symbol.
yeah, and I get being obsessed with the symbol, but also like you've looked at the symbol 10,000 times. How do you think making it out of string is going to be any different?
A
I don't know.
different perspective. It's like breaking the glass or building it with the
That is
bottles.
true.
It's a different perspective. Jade is a beautiful mind.
He is the smartest man in the room. You are right. I need to be more like Jade. I need to look at things from
Mm,
every perspective. I'll go build some shit out of yarn.
hey man, I'm down for that any day.
I didn't say knitting or crocheting. I'm just gonna start stringing it around my house. But I'll have to be drinking for that because that's how Jade does his best thinking. Um, but yes, so he's trying to figure out what the symbol means. Regardless of if this is a feasible plan, the most important part of the scene, as you said earlier, is that Jade has changed and he's back in the cat shirt. And not only that, but he also has his little button-down shirt over it and his cardigan on top. He's layered up for the cold, but serving looks and
He
stealing
said,
our hearts.
I'm putting on every piece of clothing I own.
Yes.
It's cold. I get that.
Yes.
I feel you.
I love it. Love it, you crazy man. Kenny and Boyd decide. Kenny's like, "Oh, I'll start boarding up the windows," and Boyd's like, "Nah, don't worry about it. Let's just take him to the sheriff's station, give him some time to sober up." Seems like a good idea for now. So now we're back with Tabby. She's just kind of like wandering around this town, doesn't really know what to do with herself. But she sees a farmer's market and she walks up to it, and there's like a couple of teenagers there taking selfies. So she goes up to them and asks to borrow one of their phones. And one of them reluctantly, very reluctantly agrees because she does look a little crazy. Um,
And a
so
little
like
homeless
I
because
get it.
she's all tore up.
Yeah, she is all torn up, bloody,
Her
disoriented. Like yeah,
her clothes are all ripped. Like she's seen better days.
yes. But one of them agrees, and her friend's like, "Why would you do that? You're crazy." But she does it, and Tabby walks like a few feet away and makes a call, and she calls her mom. It's really sad. They have a very, very emotionally charged call. Like, it's very intense, where Tabby tries to tell her mom that she's okay, everyone's okay. She just like really wanted to hear her voice and to have her mom hear her voice. Like she wanted everyone to hear each other's voices, know that she's alive and doesn't want her mom to be afraid anymore. I don't think this worked very well.
No.
Because her mom really wants to know where she is and where she's been, why. But Tabby keeps it very vague and just tells her that she and the others are okay, but she's gonna have to be away for a little while more. To me, it was giving "I'm kidnapped, I love you, goodbye" vibes, but I think Tabby just wanted her mom and wanted
Yeah,
to a little bit of home.
I think so too. I think in that moment she's like, "I'm so lost. I'm
Yeah,
so lost and I can't get to the family that I have just left, so I'm going to reach out to the family that I still have."
yeah.
And I've missed my mom.
I
I'm
want my
you know,
mom. I would do the same thing though. Though I'd probably be like, "Mom, I'm here. Come get me. I don't know what's going on."
I would absolutely call my parents. I would be like, "You know who can fix this? My dad. My dad can fix everything, so I'm gonna call my dad.
Yeah.
He's gonna figure it out." And then, like, even yeah, no, I need my parents.
I'd be like, "I know I sound crazy, but here's everything that happened. Help.
Yeah,
What do I
well,
do?"
that's why I'm calling my dad, because he would somewhat believe me. Where my mom would be like, "What are you talking about? Where have you been? What are you what's going on?" Like, she would be freaking out. My I'd be like, "Dad, I need you to listen. Here's what's happened. You're gonna help me."
My mom would do the exact same thing your mom would do. I don't know about my dad. He
I
might
think
think I'm just crazy.
my dad is the same level of crazy as me, so it's
Mm,
perfect.
yeah, okay, that would help.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Tabby hangs up and gives the phone back to the girls before she sees a church in the distance and starts heading that way. And I gotta say, like, if I were Tabby's mom, I'd be calling the police immediately, being like, I heard from her. She sounds like she's in trouble. Here's the number she called from, and then those girls would be pissed off getting calls from the police constantly. Like, where's that woman?
Hell
Where is
yeah,
she?
you tell us everything that happened. I mean, all they would have to say is, like, "We met her at this place, and she asked to
Yeah,
borrow our phone." But, like, absolutely, the cops would be called, and I would look like a psychopath if that was my child who called me.
right, right. But I'm just imagining those girls being like, never give your phone to a crazy lady again. Never, because the
Well,
cops will call.
the one was already like that. She was like, "Ah, that was the like, why would you do that?
She
What
even
is
said, like, you're gonna have
wrong
to
with you?"
sanitize your phone. Like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those teens was better than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. But back at the diner, Kenny and Christy are packing up for his adventure with Jim, and Tien Chin comes out of the back and brings them a lot of food, more than they probably should take, given the shortage that we're aware of. But she's clearly worried about Kenny and just wants him to be safe. She's the mother of the year. We love her. We love Tien Chin so much. Um, but it's a short scene. That's all we get with her for now. And then Jim is with Ethan, and he's doing a jigsaw puzzle, and I was like, "Oh, Jade should be doing that with you. He loves jigsaw puzzles."
Right? Right, we talked about it. Like, "Jade, maybe this will help you make connections."
Yes. Yes. So Jim promises to, like, do his best to find Tabby, and Julie has him promise to be careful. He does. He makes all these promises and says he'll be back soon, which we all know is a horrible thing to say in a horror movie. And I'm assuming it applies to horror TV as well. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see if he's back soon.
Also, just to go back for 1 second, so if we're in Demon Land and, like, it becomes Christmas, I'm gonna make Jade, like, a symbol jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, I thought you were gonna I thought you were gonna say you're gonna knit him a symbol sweater, like a sweater with
Oh, that
the
would be
the
great too.
symbol in
You
it.
so, look, Jade gets all the presents because he's so
Yeah.
easy to make presents for.
He's simple. We love Jade. He's getting all the
But
presents. Sorry
yeah,
to everybody else.
crafting day.
Yeah. And he would totally be there for crafting day. He'd be smashing bottles, making shit.
Yeah, so much cool stuff.
Yeah, he needs projects that don't terrify him. He said this.
Absolutely.
Um, yes. So now it's time for the adventure to begin, and Boyd sees Jim and Kenny off and tells them spiderwebs are good. Go in that direction, and whatever they do, be back to the hut before dark. If it were me, spiderwebs bad. I'm leaving. We've said that already. But they head off, and then we see Ellis running up to Boyd, telling him that there's something he's got to see. So they head up to Colony House and see that all of the crops that Donna and the others are harvesting are rotten. Every single one. There's no food left. So Boyd asks how many people know about this. And now we see that there is a full-on mob at Tien Shen's door, because that's where all of the canned goods are kept. And she tries her best to calm them down, but they push past her. They're very mean to her. They go into the house and she's like, no, no, don't go in my house. It's my house. I'm like, yeah, get out of her house. But they go into the house and raid the food. So panic is now ruling everyone. And then at the barn, we see that Randall is trying to take a goat, and Ethan is telling him no because that's his best friend, Alma, the goat. Well, Victor's his best friend, but Alma is his best
Y-
goat friend.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes. And Randall is just ignoring him and just tries to walk off with the goat anyway. And Victor, best human friend, tries to stop him. And they have like a little shoving match before Victor pulls out his gun on
Yeah.
Randall.
Well, because Randall straight up says he's like, I'm not gonna push the kid, but you're a grown man. I'm gonna beat you up. I was like,
Yeah.
Randall.
And we've seen him beat people up. We don't want that to, not Victor.
No,
Yeah,
Victor made the right choice. Pull that gun on that dumb idiot.
right. So he pulls the gun and like Randall's like, whoa, hold on a second. And Boyd comes up and it's like, everyone needs to calm down. And Randall is like, why does that guy get to have a gun? Because he's Victor. Okay, shut up.
It's not really the
But
important detail right now, friend. It's pointed
no,
at you.
right. But Boyd does convince Victor to put the gun down and actually hand it over to Boyd, so Victor no longer has a handgun. And Randall still wants his goat. And Boyd then explains that like the animals are the only resource for continued food now, because they can have eggs from the chickens, milk, so they need to keep it. They need to keep that there. And he like addresses the entire group 'cause the mob is there. Everyone's there now. And he calms them down and just says they can still fight. They just need to be careful and make everything last. And again, he says this place will not break them. So it's a very moving speech, but Randall is still Randall. He's a little upset. He does give the goat back over, but he says, "You people don't have any idea," and heads back to his bus. What don't they have an idea about, Randall? What do you know
Right.
that we don't?
Tell
What
Yeah.
them.
happened to you?
No, these people who have been in the coma, I mean, we've only seen Julie and she is like just a despondent human.
They're just
And
shells. Yeah.
yeah, and then Randall, yeah, some like when they were in that coma and basically dying, like and in that pain and all of that, they were seeing some stuff.
That's what I was saying.
Yes.
Maybe if you talk to them and maybe not everyone, but talk to Boyd. I get it. You don't like him. He took your pew pew away. Oh, I'm so sorry. But like, grow up, But like, everybody else needs to know what you clearly know.
If it
You know,
was just Randall though, I could be like, yeah, tell them. But like, why isn't Julie? Like it might just be too traumatic. They don't want to talk. Like, I don't
Julie's
know.
also younger, kind of in the adolescent stage. Like Randall is clearly being aggressive and making moves. And it's like, look, other people need to understand why.
Well, it's because he's part of the government.
well now, I
Well,
mean, now he does he believe now? Do you believe
yeah,
now,
yeah. Did,
Randall?
did you see enough, buddy?
He hasn't brought up any conspiracies, but also he might just be part of it.
It's
I'm saying
true.
we should take Randall out.
Can you imagine if like his newest conspiracy is like he's been brainwashed and he is part of it, but he broke the
Ugh.
brainwashing?
Oh, good God. I hope not. I think I'd
His Christmas present is a tinfoil hat.
Christmas presents for everybody. Uh, I have an idea about Christmas presents for Jim. We'll get to that in this scene.
Okay.
So, Jim and Kenny are now going through the woods, and they're just like in that buddy buddy stage of we're going on an adventure. Yippee for us. Jim is thanking Kenny for going with him. They're just hopeful. So they're talking about how great it will be, and they're gonna be safe and smart about how they do it. So no worries, we got this. Immediately after that, they come across a freaky as fuck figure in the
Oh,
woods, made out of
so
wood. This is my
cursed.
Christmas present for Jim. This
Ain't
is
no
what I'm
way.
getting him. This is when I'm getting him.
Ain't no way.
It
I see that thing, I'm turning around.
right. Like, when I was trying to describe it, I'm like, it's like a Blair Witch doll, but also, like, not at all like one. Um,
Yeah, so it's like a face, and then it's like bars that, like, make up
yeah.
the body. But it's not like a full body. It's weird.
Yeah, so they're, like, tall as a person, and the body and torso, like you said, they're made of, like, sticks, branches, and almost like wrought iron, like, it
Mhm.
metal. It's like a very weird combination of stuff. But the faces, it looks like they're carved out of wood, but they are much more human-like and, like, realistic almost. They're kinda like mummies. They
I don't like
not
that
like
that thing can, like, look me in the eyes either. It's
No.
ain't no
Don't
way.
love that. But each one was, like, slightly different. They were all humanoid, but, like, had different, like, characteristics. One that they showed at one point looked like it had, like, big nails, like, driven into its head, almost like it had, like, a spiky hairdo. Almost like Pinhead's head, if you know
Mhm.
Hellraiser.
Yep.
But all of these creepy doll things are, like, spaced out and look kinda like they're, like, leading up to something.
There's a bunch
Both
of them. There's too
they're
many of them.
There's too many. There's so many of them. I'm like, "Are these things gonna move? Because I swear to God, I'm done if they move." Both men are disturbed, Kenny more
As you
so
should
because
be.
right, but, like, for some reason, Jim wants to go follow where they lead, and he just starts walking, and Kenny's like, "I don't think we should do that, like, I think we should just go back, maybe?" But Jim just does what Jim wants, and he keeps going. And Kenny follows him because Kenny doesn't want to be alone, and I wouldn't either. So the weird line of statue things leads to a little cluster of cabins in like a clearing. And of course, Jim wants to investigate. So Kenny pulls out his gun and they walk in. And Kenny again says, like, hey, we should head back. It's getting dark. Let's go. But Jim says that no, like we can put a talisman up. We can stay here for the night. This would be a hell no from me. I would grab that talisman and book it. Um but yeah, to Jim, for some reason, these cabins look cozy and welcoming. He's got bad taste. Um,
Yeah, the lawn decor is a problem.
it's a big problem for me. And poor Kenny, he tries to say no. Like, he's like, there's no spider webs, so we should go back and head in a different direction. But Jim argues that, like, maybe when Boyd and Sarah were being dragged in the tent, they passed through here and just didn't see it because they were in the tent. And honestly, that is a fair concern with going in any direction, but I would
Yeah.
not care because I'd be like, have you seen those dolls? The effigies? Have you seen them? Because I'm out. So fine, whatever.
Yeah, like, I see your point, but I'm gonna counter creepy effigy doll thingies.
I'm gonna
Yes.
counter this place is cursed as fuck.
Yes. Yeah. So, but whatever. They're gonna stay here tonight and look around the area until nightfall. And Kenny just looks so fed up. He's like, I don't want to be here. The bromance that was starting at the beginning of this journey is now over. Um. So back with Tabby, she's gone into this church that she saw, and she goes into the confessional and starts telling the priest about how lost she is and feels. And he tries to like make it about God's plan, but she stops him and is like, nope, I don't want to hear about that because if God is real, he created a place with so much suffering and also let her baby die. So she gets up to go, and the priest follows her out and asks her about her son's name, and she tells him, and then he also asks if she has other children because she's still carrying Victor's lunchbox. And so she tells him about Victor and kind of just like gives him everything about the place that she was. She tells him about the place she couldn't leave, the monsters that come out, and also about the little boy that pushed her out of the lighthouse. She wants to get back, and he asks. He doesn't really ask about the place. He's just kind of like, okay. Moves on, asks her what snack it was that Victor made, and she humors him, opens the lunchbox, and sees on the bottom of it, if lost, return to Victor Kavanaugh, and an address. So now she knows where to go. She has a clue, just something to hold on to. So she's like, reinvigorated, let's go, and gets out of
Well,
there.
what are the odds? Like, this feels, like, super important because what are the odds that she ends up in Camden, Maine, where Victor was from?
I was thinking the same thing because it would be really inconvenient if he was from California.
Right. Well, and that's yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, this feels like I was talking about before, that the boy in white is good, and this was his way of, getting her to the thing that she needed to get to in order to get them all home, right?
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So
Like, sorry to interrupt, but,
no,
like,
no, you go.
if we can come in from all different places, I can imagine that you would go out from all different places, so I don't feel like that was, accidental.
Yeah, something's happening. She is there for a reason. We just got to figure out why, and she does too because she's lost.
Yeah.
Poor Tabby, all alone. But back at Colony House, Elgin is on the couch and he's trying not to sleep. We can kind of see him nodding off. But Tilly is with him and she tells him, "Go sleep. Like we can sleep now. It's okay." And he says that's not why he doesn't want to sleep. He feels like something is watching him when he sleeps, but when he wakes up, he just can't remember. Tilly looks right past him and goes, "Is that her? She looks scary." Right next to Elgin, we see the woman who was in his drowning dream who tried to drown him. And she comes over, her hands are like dripping water, and she just puts her hands on his face. And suddenly he jerks awake. And it was another dream. And
Yeah,
that poor boy.
she's creepy. She is full, like, this weird kimono thing over, like a mummy type thing
I,
without the wrapping, like, it is.
which makes me
It
think of the effigies in the woods.
Ooh, okay.
Same. Like, speaking of the
Mummies.
effigies, though, like, am I the only one that would have tried to set one on fire just to see what happens? Or am I just a
Absolutely. I'm not touching
pyromaniac?
I'm
going
not
near them.
touching them.
If you
I'm gonna
set one on
tell.
fire, I would be so pissed at you. I'd
I
be
would be
so
running.
mad.
I
Well,
would be
don't go
running.
on don't go on any crazy adventures with me then, because I'm a little bit of a pyromaniac, and I'd have tried setting one of them on fire just to see who screams.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if it was you? What if that was
Well,
your
you
voodoo
know
doll?
what? Let me tell you, I'm gonna go out of Demon World one way or another. It may as well have been by my own lighter.
In a blaze
God.
of glory.
Yeah,
Blaze
note
of
to self, don't get
glory.
stuck in Demon World with Beanz. Absolutely not. No, no. No, no. I feel
Yeah.
like it's
No,
not going to be.
so the
Sorry.
answer to your question, Beans, is yes, you are the only.
Cool.
Yeah, both of us are like, absolutely not. Hell no. I
I
don't
mean,
mess
I
with
love
cursed
it for
shit.
you, but not for me.
Because, like,
But
when they
like,
were
I
going up
don't
to it, I
know.
was like, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And you're like, oh, I'd set it on fire. I'm like, oh, no,
Well,
we out.
no, I wouldn't touch it, right? So like my little ass would have setting something on fire and throwing it at it, going, what happens? What happens? Science.
You're. No,
The world cannot
you're
progress
just
without
pissing off the demon
science.
in the woods.
Well, I mean, it's
No.
already pissed.
But you you saying set it on fire and see who screams, it that was a thought of mine. I was like, what if these represent the people in the town or something else?
Or what if they're
Yeah.
effigies of the monsters?
Could be.
That's where my mind was like. I was like, these are creepy as fuck. I wonder if these are attached to the monsters in some way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like my first initial instinct with the effigies, the first time I saw them, will be to run away screaming. And then, if you give me a little time, I'm gonna be like, we've got to investigate. We've got to investigate everything. Science must happen. And
Hmm.
I would be willing to go back and, like, really thoroughly examine the effigies, but
Mm,
that might be about as far as I go.
Here, I would be willing to delegate that to someone not me.
I would tell Jade about it.
You see Jade sprinting off into the woods. Where? Which direction?
Screaming science.
Science! Oh man, Jade would be thrilled. He would
He
be like,
loves a
shit, I'm
project.
terrified of this project, but I have to do it. He'd be searching everywhere in that town for a symbol. Oh, Jade. All right. So, back at the Liu house, Donna, Boyd, and Tian Chen are discussing how to deal with the food shortage. So they say that like everything is poisoned. Like it seems like the soil itself there might be poisoned. So how do they make more food, and how can they get the animals to last? And Tian Chen has the idea that they need to plant smaller crops in different places, try different soil, which is a good idea. See if there's anything that is not cursed at this point, because it seems like everything's cursed. In the meantime, they need to make the animals buy them some time. So they're gonna try to like slaughter them one at a time, and try to get a few months. And Ethan comes in at the tail end of this and hears them talking about when they start slaughtering the goats. And his poor little heart is broken. He goes outside and Boyd follows him, and they have like a really good, mature conversation about like this needs to be done so that people can survive. Like Boyd's very good talking to, again, anyone besides his own son.
Yeah, he's good
Uh,
dad to everybody but Ellis.
right. But Ethan is like very understanding. Like he understands that this has to happen, like their survival comes first. And he asks Boyd to please kill Alma first so that she doesn't have to watch her friends die.
That was
Hurts.
rough.
Hurts my heart.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
like, that's such an Ethan thing,
I would have
right?
never
Like,
thought that, but like, damn, he's right. Kind of.
yeah. Mm.
Ugh. See, I would have been like, kill her last so that there's a chance we might not have to, but ugh. Yeah, that hurts. Um, but back in what we can assume is our world, Tabby has arrived at Victor's house. So I think this dispels my previous theory that Victor has been in Demon Land all along. Which like, okay, fine. Just every single one of my theories is wrong. I got it. But she's looking out the house. She's kind of standing outside on like the sidewalk in front of it, and a man pulls forward, like in a car. He parks on the street and walks up to the house, and he's carrying some beer. He looks rough. But he starts telling Tabby to get off his lot, like get out of here. Um, but when he actually like turns and looks at her, he sees Victor's lunchbox, and he's very startled to see that. He asks where she got it, and she realizes that this is Victor's father. And she even says that to him. She's like, "You're his father. You're Victor's father." And he even looks a bit like Victor. I think that they did really well with the casting here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so new character, everybody. Let's see how this goes. But
How
we
crazy is that though? Like, just think of that about that for a second. So Victor has been stuck there since he was Ethan's age. So since he was like 9, let's say.
yeah,
So you're talking 30 plus years that your wife and your 2 children disappeared.
yeah.
I would look rough too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also a blessing that he still lives there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's a
Oh God,
long
yeah.
time to live in the home that you and your family were in. I'd have moved. You know, I'd
Yeah,
have
that's a
ruined
long
the
time
whole
to live in
plot.
any one place.
Well, yeah,
I
Yeah.
can't
but
I
like
can't
it would
live
be
somewhere more than
especially
like 5
hard.
years.
But it would be especially hard to live somewhere where you and your family were together.
Yeah.
I would
No, I
have
agree. I'm
moved
just
for
saying.
that reason.
Unless he
I'd have
still
ruined the
had
whole
hope
plot.
that they would come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Cuz
true.
we don't know how much of, I mean, cuz at this point to him they're missing. We don't know, like just like Tabby's mom is like, you've been missing, right? So a lot of times parents who lose children who go missing and they don't get answers actually stay in the same house, because
That's true
what
too.
if their kid comes back?
That's
So,
just so sad to think about.
yeah.
All right. On to happier things. Kenny and Jim are in a cabin and it's dark out. Can't have anything bad happen in this scenario. So they're talking about the plan. They're still thinking about like how do we see where the spiders are, and Jim says that they need to get to higher ground to get the lay of the land, see if they can see anything. 'Cause he's like, Boyd had said that you cannot miss these spiders. The webs are everywhere, covering all the trees, everything. So he's like, yeah, we just get up high, we can see it. And then they start to hear some things outside. It's kind of like sticks breaking and then some thuds against the cabin
So
and
but no whispers.
no whispers. And they don't have windows they can look through to see what's out there.
I mean, I don't know what that is, but my first thought if I'm in that cabin is those effigies are alive,
Same. That
and
was
they're
my
like,
thought.
yeah, and they're like, "Why are you in my house?"
Yeah, get out of my house. That's my house.
Mm-mm,
I
Yeah. No, I was
ain't no
like,
way.
wholeheartedly
oof.
I wholeheartedly expect them when they leave this cabin, the effigies will be in different positions.
I literally have that written as a note that we don't see them leave these cabins. So
Yeah, we don't
What's it gonna
see
look
it,
like when they leave?
but I will bet you that's my theory that they will be in different positions.
Eh,
How
I don't want to
crazy
see
will it
it.
be if they're surrounding the cabin and be like, "Whoop,
Can I not
we
watch this
gotta
next
go."
episode? Because I'm scared. I don't like that. I don't like
That would be my
mannequin
response. We gotta
things.
go.
We gotta
Yeah,
move. What
we
if they're
sure
like
ain't staying
bloodhounds
the
though and
night
just
here
hunt them
again.
down? Ugh. Nope. Nope. No more talk about that. Oh god, no, I'm scared. I'm
That's
scared.
why I'm wondering when you're like
Uh,
on the happier notes. I was like, "How is that happier?"
it's not. That was totally sarcastic.
Ain't Beans ain't nothing happy left in this episode.
Yeah, sorry, but there is
I'm
no
gonna.
happiness at the end of this tunnel.
I'm just saying, there'd be one less effigy if you had me there.
Oh, but it does seem like whatever was outside either just doesn't want to come in, can't come in because of the talisman, but at least like all
At
we get
least they're
is some
still
thumps.
alive.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't hang out very long.
No. And it is funny though, because like Kenny gets up and like listens a little. I don't know like what he thought he was doing, but he just like stands up, gets a little closer to the wall and like listens. And he's like, I think they're gone. It's like, okay, you
Which
sure?
realistically would be the
Like,
last thing that I would do. I am not about to put a vital part of my head next to something that could just get punched through. No, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, we're getting to the center of that cabin, like as
Yep.
far away from a wall as possible.
I'm
Mm-mm,
not
small.
sleeping.
Oh no.
We're sitting
Mm-mm.
back to back. I'm having my gun out. Yeah. Not that I trust Jim to have my back, but still. But yeah, so they think whatever was outside is gone. We think they're suckers for that. But Jim suddenly has this revelation that this is wrong and he shouldn't have left. Like 2 minutes ago, dude, you were talking about what you're gonna do tomorrow. You heard a couple thumps outside and that's what convinced you that you shouldn't have left?
I mean, valid though.
Okay. Eh, but like he
Yeah,
knows about the monsters in the wood. Like, mm,
yeah,
I don't
Jim.
know.
You just want to shake Jim occasionally.
Just a
I just want to
little.
slap him in the face occasionally.
Well,
Um,
and he even says like this is why she wanted to go alone,
right.
because one of us has to stay for the kid. Like you could have had this revelation in town, dummy.
Hmm.
He needs time to think, and he never thinks. So
He needs to lose the responsibility of being a parent for a night, and then he can think like, "Oh,
he's like, wait, who's
Jim."
watching my kids? I'm sure
Right.
they're fine back in town. No biggie.
Well, Tien
Eh,
Chen. I mean, I would leave my children with Tien Chen.
that is true. And Victor. I'm shocked he left them with Victor, but he did. Uh, but he does say like Tabby wouldn't have wanted him to go. So duh. So they change the plan and say they're gonna head back home first thing in the morning. I'm sure nothing will stop you from getting home. Back in
Effigies around
town.
the house.
No, I'm like, God damn it! Now you put that in my head. I'm just like, I don't want it. I don't want to watch it. But back in town, we see the monsters are out and they make their way over to the animals and open the gate to the goat pen and also the door to the barn, letting out all of the precious animals that we've just made a plan on killing. Um, but Boyd is at the station and he's having a little drink out of the bottle that Kotri had shown him. And then Jade walks out because he'd been sleeping in one of the other rooms and he is hungover, a little confused. But he shares a drink with Boyd and tells Boyd that he's not ready to talk about what's going on with him because he is still working it out for himself. They then hear a cow mooing and are a little confused, look out the window, and they see cows walking down the street. Boyd, in a moment of genius, takes the talisman off the wall and runs outside. He is fucking Jade over. Doesn't talk
I
to him.
love
It's
that.
just like pulls the talisman and leaves.
That was my first reaction. Well, don't fuck Jade over.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Jade is like, Excuse me? Like, what are you doing?"
He's
And
like following. We shouldn't be outside. Yeah, no, we should not be outside.
no, it's oh my God, it made me so angry. This was like, I am angry for the rest of this episode. Just like pissed off at Boyd because this is a morning activity. Those animals will not be gone. Like, sure, you're gonna have to round them up, but you'll have way more time in the light of day.
And
What are you doing?
people.
Oh my God. And people, because more people will help you. Pissed me off. But anyway, calm down. It's all good. So like, yes, Jade follows him outside because what else is he supposed to do? He's screwed. And they start corralling the animals. And like I said, they saw the cows, but then Jade just starts going, sheep, sheep. Boyd, there are sheep because there are more animals in the street, and the sheep are kind of like running around, but they start trying to grab them. And then Tien Chen and Victor see from their house all of the animals, and those two sweet angels also go outside to help. And they tell the kids to stay inside, lock the doors. We also see Randall in his bus, in his fishbowl, seeing all of them walking outside in the dark, and he then can also see some of the monsters walking towards them. So he turns on the bus, honks at them to alert them, and everyone is just very focused. Got to get the animals, got to get them to the barn. But we see more monsters appearing. Now with Ethan, he's looking out the window watching all this, and he sees Alma, his best goat friend, outside. And he decides that he needs to go out too to go save his best goat friend. So he opens the front
Ethan.
door, and
Ugh.
Grandma's outside. Grandma from episode 1 is on the other side of the door, so happy to see him.
She does love them kids.
She does. She's got a thing for kids. We don't love that.
She should be on a list.
But she should be on a list because she's killing them all anyway. I think she is on a list. She'd be
Yeah,
on our
it's
spreadsheet at
probably.
least. Yeah. But Julie's there and she moves quickly and tells him to run, tries to slam the door, but is a little too slow and Grandma's a little too strong. So she can't close the door fully, and they run through the house to the back door, and Grandma gets inside, following them, walking slowly, creepily, and she says, "I have a surprise for you." And I'm like, "Is it your teeth?" And yes, it is her teeth, because she turns into her monster form right after that. But they run
Literally on
outside.
cue when you were like, "Is it your teeth?" Monster face.
I was like, "Shit, it is her teeth." Now, I was not watching at that point. I heard you guys say it is her teeth, and I was like, "Cool, I
It
was
was
right."
perfect timing.
I can't watch. Um, but yes, so they run outside, they run out the back door, and they're grabbed from behind. We are like, oh shit. But thankfully it's Sarah, Ethan's worst nightmare. Uh, but she gets them to be quiet, and they go and hide in the trees. Now we see that Jade is still leading a cow, but this is a stubborn cow, does not want to move. And there is a monster that starts walking in front of him, like where he's trying to go. So he's like, Boyd, and Boyd tells him to like get away, like basically drop the cow and move. But he's kind of frozen, and the monster reaches the cow, grabs the cow's neck, and rips out its throat. And it's kind of like a very violent cow flailing death. But Victor,
Yeah.
sweet baby Victor, sees this, runs over, grabs Jade, and hauls ass.
Like
I'm
screams Jade too.
I
Like it was
know
the
it.
sweet like it was I was like I love this cuz they've been at odds, but Victor's like no.
Well, that's
I like
his
Jade.
violinist. He
Yeah.
needs his violinist. And
It was
this
very
whole
sweet.
it was so sweet. I really like seeing the relationships forming between these guys because you're right. Like they have had their moments of being at odds, but they're also building bonds. Like Victor and Jade, Tien Chen and everybody. Um hell, even who was it? Who else is out there?
Well,
Oh
like
no,
Sarah,
earlier.
even like her stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, no, it's all very like because that's the thing is like you are in this together. And whether
Yes.
like you hate each other, you've got to work together. Like even Randall who has been a piece of shit is like I see what's going on. I will turn on the bus. I will turn on the lights. I will honk. I will warn you.
Right. He's not actively trying to sabotage anybody. He doesn't want to be like, I'm going to come up with ways to help everybody. But if he sees something, he will do something. That's fine. But I remember the other groups that I loved seeing. At least this was in the end of the last season. But like Tabby and Victor and Tabby and Jade.
Yeah.
Like those relationships, those friendships, they're awesome. I love it. I don't love this scene because I'm stressed. All of my favorite people are outside. I don't like it. I'm not happy. Um, but we see like Julie, Sarah, and Ethan still hiding in the trees, but like more monsters are coming near where they are, and they realize that if they don't move, they're gonna be seen and be killed. So they decide to run. And Randall sees them from the bus, opens the door, and calls them over, being a good guy there. And they make it. They get the door shut. They are safe. Not 3 people we don't need to worry about anymore. And then we see Boyd tells Victor to get as many animals into the bar as possible because they're passing the bar right now. He's like, okay, they're not going to make it to the barn. Get them in the bar. Did I say that right? There's bar
Yes.
and barn. I was like, did I
Yes.
just get that confused?
Yes, watch out for your string art,
Yes.
and hopefully somebody boarded up that window.
I was thinking that. I was like, is that window gonna be okay? But I don't know. Victor and Jade get, I think, all of the goats in. They get a number of goats into the bar. They get in there. So Victor and Jade checked safe, presumably. But Tian Chen is outside still with Boyd, and he tells her to go with them. She says, "No, we're doing this together." And I am screaming, "Don't you dare do that with him," because this whole thing seems like a trap. But I don't know. Maybe Boyd's smarter than I am. I don't know.
He's not.
So they have this one cow left, and Tian Chen is leading it forward. Boyd's behind her, looking for monsters behind. They get the cow into the barn. Boyd pulls the talisman out of his pocket and like leans it up on the door, which does not seem very secure, but he seems content with it. And Tian Chen like leads the cow further in. Everyone seems safe until we hear a voice. And that voice says, "You said this place couldn't break you." Uh-oh. There's a whole group of monsters already hiding in the barn. I wonder if anyone could have seen this coming.
And, like, also, we've all called out, "Why are you challenging this place?
Oh God,
Right.
Why are
right?
you screaming into the void that something can't break you?" Like, nope.
It doesn't need any more reason to target you, but you're giving it reason after reason. And also, this whole thing, again, pissed me off because this could have been a daylight activity. And also, if the animals got like maybe he thought someone else left everything open in the like confusion of everyone wanting food, but like it just seemed like such an obvious thing to me. And I was like, someone is hiding in that barn. They don't just let out the animals and like go further away. Like, of course, they would stay close to get the people that they're trying to entice. So I was like, don't go inside, don't go inside. No, not Tian Chen. So yes, this was a trap the whole time. Boyd walked right into it and brought poor Tian Chen along for the ride. So the monsters grab both of them and bring them to like opposite sides of the barn. They struggle, but are obviously overpowered, and the monsters use Boyd's handcuffs to restrain him to one of like the pillars in the barn. And he tells them, "Kill me, but leave her alone." And they respond, "We're not going to kill you. That would be no fun. You think this place can't break you? We'll see." And then we have the camera pan to like behind Tian Chen, so we're seeing the back of her head and Boyd's face watching, and they start to scalp her. And we have heard stories of how these monsters torture people, and we've even seen in the previous season with the girl with the rod through her head, how they killed her boyfriend in front of her to make her watch. And we are getting that happen now with Tian Chen, which I'm not crying, you're crying. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
awful.
can't
Like, so
forgive Boyd
sad,
for
and
this.
I said that while we were watching it. I was like, I will never forgive Boyd for this. This is his fault. He challenged them. He decided to go out in the dark, and he got all these people. Like, I don't think they would have gone out if they didn't see him out.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And even, I mean, like, during that scene, and I don't know how much you have written on this, but
a little bit.
it's just so, I mean, it's so devastating.
Well, and the way that they did it, I think, was pretty good because, like, you see them do, like, the first pull of her scalp. And also, these monsters have to be extremely strong because it just seems like her flesh is coming off like butter, but, like, maybe that's too much detail.
I mean, you
But
saw what they did to that cow.
that is true. That is true. But the camera then pulls in, so all we see is Boyd. We don't see Tian Chen anymore. But you can hear her crying and screaming while Boyd tells her to just look at him, focus on him, and like I'm going to still be in a little bit of denial, but it's pretty clear that these monsters are doing what they do, torturing her to prove a point to
Yeah,
Void. And all he can do
absolutely.
is watch. And like on the second rewatch, when Ethan is like, kill Alma so that she doesn't have to watch her friends die, I was like, how dare they? That is a foreshadowing I did not want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boyd tries to comfort her in her last moments, but she did not deserve this. And also all I can think of is poor Kenny, because
That
they're
was
out there
literally
talking
the
about how Jim
first
doesn't want
thing.
his kids. Yeah.
The first
I
thing I
Yeah.
what?
said when this happened, I was like, "Poor Kenny."
Yeah.
Like,
Literally talking. Sorry.
sorry, they're doing this to Boyd, but how much more can Kenny take? Like, he's
I
got no one now.
ugh, it hurts my soul. But literally, him and Jim were just talking about how Jim doesn't want his kids to be orphans, and Kenny's in the process of becoming one at the same moment.
Oof.
Yeah, it it hurts. Kenny, I know we've joked a bit about Kenny's villain era, but like he hasn't entered it. Is this gonna be it?
See, the boy deserves one at this point.
Yeah, I would support it. I'd be like, you got this. I support you. You go be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
They need a way to kill these monsters so that Kenny can let it out. Because that boy has to have a lot of rage inside him right now.
We are in for a sad episode.
Hmm.
Oh,
Ugh,
good.
yeah.
I gotta make sure my mute button's working so you can't hear me crying.
Yeah, that was I mean, that's just it's so devastating to so many people because that's the thing is that they were like granted the monsters couldn't have necessarily chosen who would go with Boyd or things like that. But man, she was like as much as Boyd is this leader, Tian Chen was the heart of this town.
Yes. Well, and she also has pretty much always kept a level head. Like earlier with the food thing, like everyone's panicking, they don't know what to do, and she's like, "Here you go, do this." Even with Jade, she
The
with like the light
electricity.
bowl or like the
Yeah.
electricity, she's like, "Stop overthinking things." So yeah, I don't know how this show is gonna be without her. She was the heart of this
Yeah.
community.
They can all die. We can reset.
Yeah, can we get a wipe? Wipe the slate clean, please. I'm ready.
Get some new folks in there.
But
I just
but keep Jade, Victor. Tabby can come back. Julie. Yeah. Oh, Donna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Donna, we'll keep Donna. Yeah, yeah. Not Boyd though. Fuck
Kenny.
you, Boyd.
But Kenny deserves rest. So maybe
Yeah.
let Kenny go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know we had talked early on in the seasons about like there being people who are going to die because of the story. But man, I don't think Tien Chen was ever on any of our lists,
No,
No.
she was on my protected all costs list.
Yeah. I
which
literally
is
remember saying, if Tien Chen dies, so do I. And this show killed her. So now I have to go die, guys. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. This is my last episode on the podcast. I have to go die.
Yeah.
well, you'll
What's even but
just pull Father Katri, come back and talk to us. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, cool. Just
I'll
haunt
just
us.
ghost radio you.
Perfect.
Yeah, but you had said like if Kenny dies, you'll riot, and you said if
I'll
Tien Shen
riot.
dies, you'll
I'll
die.
die. I
And it was
have
like,
to die now,
oh,
guys. I'm sorry.
ugh.
Well, so that was the end of that episode.
I don't want to watch the next one. You said it's a sad one.
Well, because I mean, Kenny and Jim are gonna head home because Jim has changed his mind. Which, like, which is worse? So, like, if they're gonna find out pretty quickly that Tien Chen or what has happened to Tien Chen. But would it be worse if they stayed out there for like weeks and then came
Ooh,
back and found out his mom was gone?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
I feel
I do
like
have a
Yeah.
question though.
Okay.
I
Go
I'm the
ahead,
type
Beans.
of person that I like to accomplish things. So I feel like if I went out there, spent one fucking night in the woods, and that's the night my mother dies, and I accomplished fucking nothing. I think that's worse than versus
Yeah,
being gone for
he's probably
weeks and
gonna
then
blame
coming
himself for
back and
going.
finding it. Yeah, absolutely he is. He's poor sweet
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, because if they were there, those two would have been the ones to go outside. It would not have
Mm-hmm.
been Tien Shen and Victor.
Yeah. So what's your question, Lauren?
If nobody went in that barn with him, what would the monsters have done?
Yeah. I I I don't think they would have killed him. I think they would have probably tortured him though.
Make him
Yeah,
lose a limb or
that's
two.
what I was thinking. They'd
Yeah.
have tortured him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cuz I think it's more fun for them to have him alive at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh, I definitely think so too. They want to break him. They want to prove they've got a point to prove. And Boyd, what have you done to the other people?
No, Boyd, you know all that blame that you've been putting on yourself? It's deserved, you bastard.
Yeah, now it's deserved. I wasn't like thinking it was super deserved because you didn't really have a lot of control over some of the shit that happened. But you literally challenged them, and you gotta reap what you sow.
Yeah, you got
But
They
cocky and
answered
hurt
your
other
call.
people.
yeah, this is unforgivable.
Yeah.
But also, we've now seen them execute two intelligent plans. These monsters with the colony house and then this. So what do they have in store for us next? And when are we gonna see them run?
Yeah, It very much feels like they're evolving. And
Yeah.
whether that's just because this group and part of that might be because the talismans came into play and they, it was easier before. Like it was easier before the talismans, and then they had that like stretch of like 3 months where there were no incidences, and now we're, back in the game, but they've had to adjust their plans of attack to get this. So, yeah, and I also think they probably got, like even with the Kelly thing, like I think they're getting bored. And so this is entertaining to them.
Yeah. Boredom is powerful.
Fucking monsters. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of these monsters one bit. That stupid cowboy.
I did not like hearing her cry. No, they're mean. I don't like them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pout about it.
That's, you know what? This is an acceptable time to pout. Um the monsters are awful and they should all rot, and we should all find ways to kill them like they killed Smiley because that's what they deserve. They're no
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. We gotta figure out there's no way that they can keep them as like immortal monsters for too much longer because that's gonna get boring to the viewers. So there's gotta be a way for them to be killed.
Yeah, well, and I think too, I mean, because the monsters were a heavy focus in the first one, but then they were kind of tangential in the second one, where, you get a little monsterish here, you get a little monster there. And then I
Yeah.
feel like now we've got some new things. So, like, we finished up the buggies, and now we got that crazy lady with Elgin,
Yeah, I don't
who
like her.
I
She just
don't like
creeps me
her
out.
either. She creepy. She does have excellent fashion sense.
She does. Like, I bet she was beautiful before her face got, like, dried out.
She
She's
looks
got
like
great hair.
she does have great hair. We didn't oh, yeah, 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 she's like Tabby's in that confessional.
Oh my god, yeah, Tabby randomly got a shower sometime between the,
Right.
farmer's market and her walk to the
Yeah,
church.
because her hair
Forgot about
looked
that.
great.
I was like, "I
But
need her stylist because that looks amazing."
but yeah, no, she the lady in the kimono looked like she was put in a dehydrator.
Yes.
Like, her
Yeah,
just
and
it's
she's got, like,
such
perpetual duck lips going. I don't know if you caught
I
that, but
didn't I'll have to look for that. That's
I it
hilarious.
I noticed it during, like, his first stream, but I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna bring up duck face on here." Yeah, I'm doing it today. There you go. She's got duck face.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. So we shall see. I feel like again, this place is bigger than those monsters.
Yes.
But they are still there. They are still a ever-present threat, and they've kind of reasserted their dominance in this first episode, the little bastards.
Yeah, they're like, "Don't forget about us. We're still here and we're still bastards."
Yeah. So I think that we're gonna wrap it up and go watch the next very, very sad episode. I'm sorry to do this to you.
It's okay.
It's
I didn't need a complete heart anymore. It's fine. It's
oh.
shattered, just like the name of this episode.
Oh. Well, thank
But
you
yes.
all for listening to I Found a Weird Show, and we can't wait to continue the recap next time. Bye.
Bye.